What brings us all here? A love of history in Egypt and wanting to support our great country's cultural heritage," Walid replied smoothly. He looked her over, and Tahirah tried not to be offended. It was why she was there, after all, to be the youthful face of the dig. Also, Reyna is constantly talking about how brilliant her sister is, but she never mentioned how beautiful. Tahirah smiled awkwardly. "Thank you. It's not often I get to go to an event. Usually it's all dust and boots for me." Tahirah's words drifted off as a cool awareness slipped down her spine. It was the same sensation she sometimes felt when she was at the dig site late at night, when the ghosts walked. She looked around, trying to find the source of her unease. Dark eyes caught her gaze from the shadows, and Tahirah froze. A man was staring at her from his place against the wall. He stood a head and shoulders above all the other patrons and was dressed in a three-piece black tuxedo. His black hair was tied back from a striking face with dark eyes. His head tilted slightly as he studied her curiously. Walid was saying something, his words a drowned-out blur of background noise that Tahirah couldn't hear. The stranger started walking towards her, people instinctively moving out of his way. She couldn't move, couldn't look away, like she was faced with a wild predator. The stranger came to stand in front of her, his silver ankh stick pin glimmering in the low lights. His full lips widened into a smile that flashed sharp canines. "There you are," he said in a deep voice. Tahirah stared dumbfounded as he took her hand and ran the tip of his nose along the top of her palm before pressing his lips to it. "I've been looking everywhere for you." "You have?" she asked, brows drawing together in confusion. "Of course he has. You are the lady of the hour, after all," Aharon said, patting her shoulder as he joined them. The man still hadn't let go of her hand, and Walid's eyes narrowed. Aharon charged on, oblivious to the surrounding tenseness. "I would like you to meet Anubis Akhom. He's looking at investing in the research at the site. Mr. Akhom, our resident whisperer of the dead, Tahirah Eskander," he said excitedly. "Hello," she said softly, heat creeping over her cheeks. She wanted to hit Aharon. She wanted to run as far away from this awkward party as she could. She needed to stop staring, but couldn't. Anubis Akhom looked down at Tahirah, black eyes glittering and his fingers tightening around hers like a snare trap. "The pleasure is all mine,"